Hello, welcome back to a new video, or if you are new here because this is a new type of video for me, welcome! My name is Beth and I like creating content about books, travel and lifestyle-y bits, I guess. I am going to be doing something a bit different today. I have never read a manga. I've been reading since I could read. I have read a lot of books, but I've never read a manga and I want to change that in this video. So this is going to be me taste testing three quite different from each other, I'm hoping, manga. These have been picked by my friend Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, who I know really enjoys manga and has a very good range of manga that he has read, so I trust his recommendations. I'm really hoping I like these three. They are, as I said, all quite different from each other, so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be reading. I don't know much about these, so I'm not going to give you plot summaries for them because I don't know those plot summaries and I also don't want to. I want to go into them fairly blind without any expectations or judgment going in. So I'm just going to tell you what they are. This will be a spoiler-free vlog and obviously this is just me dipping my toe into manga. I have just picked the first of three different series, or yeah, they're all series. First of three different series that Gavin's recommended me, but I know that this is a very, very big community and I know that there are a lot of people that love each of these books. So this is just me giving it a go and seeing how I get on with it. So please bear with me. But I thought it would be a fun video, so I hope you enjoy it. These are the three books I'm going to be reading. The first one is probably the one with what I assume is the largest fan base from what I've heard. This is One Piece and this is by Eiichiro Oda. This I know is a huge series and I know that this could be getting myself into a very big commitment if I enjoy this one. This is what started this video idea because Gavin, when we were in Paris, was telling me how much he loves this series and wanted me to give it a go. All I know is pirates. That is it. I know it's a big series, I know it's got a very popular, large fan base for it, and I know it's about pirates. That's probably underselling it massively. I'm sure it's about a lot more than that, but I won't know that until I've started it, so this is the first book on that TBR. The next one, and the one that Gavin has advised me to read in the middle of these two books because he thinks I'm going to need something to soften this because I assume it's going to break me, is Blood on the Tracks. This is by Shuzo Oshimi, and I just know that apparently it's going to be a wild ride and it's going to be emotional, so I don't know if I'm prepared for this one, but I think this one's the one I'm most intrigued by because the other two I have a very vague notion of what the plot's about, whereas this one, nothing. I just trusted Gavin's recommendation and ordered it pretty much. And then finally we have Spy Family by Tatsuya Endo. So this is the last book. I'm thinking this is the order I'm going to read them. This is the last one I'll read because Gavin said this will be a little bit of light relief from Blood on the Tracks. So yeah, that's the three books I'm going to be reading. This is the third. Spies. That's all I know about this one. See, literally know nothing. Okay, I'm going into this very clueless and that is how I want it to be. So that is my three book TBR for this video. As I said, spoiler free, but I'm just going to be vlogging the week. I'm probably going to be going back to my family home later on in the week, so there'll be a bit of a setting change. Just take you along with me for the week and read these at the same time and let you know my thoughts. I'm very intrigued because obviously the format of manga is very different and starting from the back is going to be, hang on, I've even got it blooming wrong opening it like that. Starting from the back is going to be a very interesting reading experience to get used to, and going from right to left and adapting it like that. I've been told that I'll get used to it quite quickly and I'm sure I will once I start getting into the flow of it. But yeah, it just takes your brain a second to click into opening the other side of the book. So even just things like that, little things that I'm not used to, but I'm really excited to just dive headfirst into this and give these a go. Also, a little bit of a plug, but my paper and word book sleeve just arrived. This is the paperback book sleeve and how beautiful is this design. It has two of the manga in it, so it fits two paperbacks perfectly in it. I mean, these are obviously smaller, but I have the hardback sleeve, I've got the switch sleeve, this is the paperback sleeve. I am a freelancer for paper and word as well, so I might be a little bit biased, but I just think they're fantastic. They're such beautiful cushion sleeves. But anyway, this literally just arrived as I was sitting down to film this, so I had to show you because it's too perfectly fitting. Okay, let's give this a go. Let's taste test some manga. Okay, super quick update on this because I'm literally one chapter in. I don't know why I didn't expect this to make me laugh as much as it has. I always think it's a really great feat if a book makes you laugh or makes you cry, because obviously the book needs to be fantastically written to do that, but it needs to be so secured in your brain and imagination as to what's happening that you are invested enough to find it funny or emotional. And that doesn't always happen because it's so easy to get distracted from the pages of a book with your own thoughts, whereas when you're watching something, you have the visual imagery to help you. And I think the fact that I've got the visual imagery in this as well is contributing to me feeling more of that kind of vibe about it, so I'm really liking it so far. I will say it's got something in it that I normally find quite creepy, and I knew this going in. I really dislike elongated limbs. It's an irrational fear, I understand this, and one of the things that the main character can do is have very stretchy arms, and it's particularly elongated arms that I really find creepy, and that is a thing in this. However, it's fine. I'm dealing with it. It's not bugging me too much, it's not too creepy. As I said, I'm literally one chapter in, but so far I'm really liking it. I particularly enjoy, I've completely forgotten the character's name, I've not got to know them enough yet. I particularly enjoy reading about Captain Shanks. I like him a lot, so I'm hoping we see a bit more of him. I have no idea if we will or not, or if he was just like a prologue introductory character, but these are my thoughts so far. Okay, it's Friday. I haven't updated you since Tuesday, I think. Did include footage from Wednesday where my mum, my sister and I went to Bath. That was a really lovely day. We went to a couple of the lesser visited spots that we normally go to. I did go to Toppings because I can't not go to one of the bookshops in Bath. They are the best. And I did buy a book. I'm going to show you what that is once I've told you my thoughts and feelings on the 2 manga I have finished. I finished 2. I'm in the middle or at the start of another one, and I am really liking this whole experience. So let me give you my full thoughts on the 2 that I finished, my kind of thoughts on the one that I'm currently reading, and a little one book haul. So I finished One Piece. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. I found this so fun, so funny, so entertaining, just full of epic, brilliant moments that I didn't expect it to have. I love those kind of moments where you just get completely swept away and there's this big, heroic, courageous thing happening. I just didn't expect this book to give me as much as it did give me. When Gavin told me about this, I'd honestly never heard of it before, and the initial sell point for me was very much in Gavin's recommendation rather than the plot sound of this book. So this follows Luffy, who when he is younger he really wants to be a pirate, and he swallows this fruit, this devil fruit, that gives him this ability to have very stretchy limbs, which, as I've mentioned, is something that I really dislike. However, the way it's done in this book has not freaked me out yet, which is a good thing. But he has this strange ability, and as he gets older he decides to set off on this mission to become the world's best pirate. And in doing that he needs to find the One Piece, which is this hidden treasure from this pirate that you're told about right at the start of the book. So he goes on this journey, and in this book we're seeing the start of him finding his crew and meeting some friends along the way. The way that this ended, I'm really intrigued to see how his crew progresses, because at the moment we've met the very start of this crew, and I feel like we've potentially been introduced to another character that might end up being in this crew who I really want to know more about, because I really enjoyed seeing them right at the end of this book. I really love Luffy as a person. He's an incredibly positive, positive, happy character, which makes him a really delightful character to follow. He just seems like a very good soul, and he's so determined to achieve his goals. And there's another character that we've met that's also got this goal that they're really determined to achieve. So I really like that idea of having this thing that you really want from life and just setting out and trying to get it. I love that as being essentially a driving point for this overall plot. So I enjoyed this enough that I've ordered book 2, 3 and 4 online. I know this is a huge series. I know that it's going to be a very long one to own and read, and definitely not something I'm going to do quickly, but I did want to read more and I wanted to know what happened from the end of this one. So I think it's safe to say that this was a success. I trust Gavin's recommendations for me. I think when you know somebody and they know your reading taste and they know you as a person, I think that when they recommend you books, it's usually for good reason, and I am really glad I enjoyed this one. I'm really glad that the elongated limbs didn't freak me out too much. I don't know why it's such a thing for me. If anyone ever watched Green Wing, there's a character that puts like extendable arms into her jacket sleeves, and that really freaked me out. So it was okay in this. I didn't mind it too much. I also really enjoyed in this, at the end of each chapter, you have a little aside from the author giving you little drawing tips or talking about the writing process. I loved that, and I also loved that at the end of this book we have this page. So this says you're reading in the wrong direction. It gives you a little guide to it and explains the reason for the direction that you read mangas in, and I really enjoy that it tells you about flopping pages, which is something the US publishers do, where they literally like mirror the pages so that they can have this reverse order, and sometimes that means that like writing on t-shirts, for example, will be backwards. I found that really interesting. This one is not. It's an original unflopped format. I just really enjoy the word flopping for this kind of thing as well. It's a fun term. See, I'm already holding it around the wrong way. I have been fairly good with being able to pick them up the right way around, but I think it still definitely takes, it's a learning curve for my brain to know the right way. I keep picking them up like upside down like this. And I also, if I'm in the middle, like if I open it mid-chapter, for example here, I will start at the wrong way and go that way until I realise that that is not making any sense. So it definitely does take a little bit of getting used to, but I think 3 books in now I'm getting there a little bit, but I still am not fully in the habit of which direction to read it. So following on from finishing One Piece, last night I started Blood on the Tracks. I read this one incredibly quickly compared to One Piece. I think, well, this one was a lot more image heavy than it was dialogue heavy. The art style in this, hang on, really, really pretty. I mean, look at that. They're all like beautiful artwork, but this one just completely blew me away. I think I was so focused on the artwork for this that was kind of my favourite thing about this one, I think. This story follows a boy and his mum who are very close, and it's suggested that she's quite overprotective of him. There is something unspoken within this story that is woven in occasionally that you just don't really get full information for, that has quite a high level of intrigue. I think most of this I was very much just like waiting to find out what this thing was and like being carried by the intrigue element. And I think that was what the hook was for me for this book. So I liked this one. I thought that this would be my favourite one based on the fact that it's contemporary. Reading graphic novels, I seem to lean towards contemporaries like Heartstopper, for example, or Bloom. I do think that's what I tend to prefer most of the time. I'm saying that tentatively because I think there are graphic novel fantasies that I prefer. When it comes to novels, I love fantasy and I love the weird and the wonderful, but for some reason with the graphic novels, I do lean towards the contemporary ones. So I thought that I would prefer the contemporary out of the mangas, but actually I think so far One Piece is my favourite. I haven't spoken about Spy Family yet, but I feel like that will be my second favourite from what I have read at the moment. So my logic of preferring the contemporary didn't really win out here, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but I still really enjoyed this one. The art style is stunning. This one's a lot more serious, and obviously it's got this woven thing throughout it of what is being hidden here from the reader. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. I have put the second one on my wish list. I haven't ordered it yet, but the way this ends, I do need book 2. I need to know what happens. So that leads me on to Spy Family, which is my current read. I only started this last night, so I'm literally like this far in, so not very far at all. This one follows a spy who has been given a case in which he needs to get a family to go undercover, like he needs his own family to be able to go undercover. So he's trying to set about doing that, and we meet a little girl in this book who is incredibly sweet and cute. I just want good things for her. She hasn't had the right start to life and she hasn't had the love that she deserves, and I just want her to have those things, and I just feel like she's so far away from them still. This one I got the impression would be like a kind of soft cushion of a manga and it would kind of offer me some light relief. However, I'm a very empathetic person, and when it comes to reading books with characters that are wronged and just unfairly treated and not given the love they deserve, even though you can tell that they are someone that just craves it so deeply, it really hits me, and that is the little girls in this book. So I'm actually finding this much more emotional than I expected. I thought Blood on the Tracks would be really emotional, but I think Blood on the Tracks was more like shocking. That was the overriding emotion, and that's why I didn't want to know what these books were about going into them, because I wanted to just be completely judgment free about what I was meant to feel from them. So Blood on the Tracks I thought would break me and I thought would be really emotional, but ended up being shocking. This I thought would be quite funny and easy, and actually is making me feel emotional for reasons I did not expect it to. I haven't read enough of this to properly form my thoughts yet, but I do really enjoy the two characters. I like the fact that I feel like the main character has this shell that we're going to slowly break down and just see him soften a little bit and see more of him, but I'm really enjoying reading about him as well and the dynamic between him and this little girl, so I'm looking forward to continuing on with this one. I did also buy a book, as I said, in toppings, so let me show you what that is. So the new manga to my collection is My Hero Academia by Kohei Horikoshi. This one was highly recommended to me by Lauren from Fiction Tea. Lauren has told me for quite a while now that I would enjoy this one. I think what sold it into me is she said it was kind of like Sky High in manga form. If you've not watched that film, it was great. I loved it as a kid. I don't know if it stands the test of time, but if there's a manga form of that film, then I am here for it. It's kind of giving me low-key Captain America vibes on the front here as well. I don't really know what to expect from this one because, once again, I think going in blind is working best for me at the moment, but I picked this one up in toppings. I'm excited. I feel like I'm hooked into the manga world now. It's happened already and I've only read 3 books. So far, I'm pretty sure we can call this video a success. I've enjoyed the 2 that I finished. I'm enjoying the final 3rd book that I'm reading. I've bought, in this video, essentially I bought 4 more books because I've ordered the 3 One Piece online and then have physically bought My Hero Academia, so I feel like it's going pretty well. I know that this is a daunting thing to get into as well. Like, I'm kind of wary of how many books I'm opening myself up to here because of how many are in some of these series. One Piece is just huge, but I really like Luffy and I want to know more about his journey and I want to see whether he achieves his goal. I feel like that's the hook, isn't it? Like, the fact that I'm invested in his ambitions and that he has this really big thing that he wants to work towards, and because he's such a likeable character you just really want him to succeed, so I need to know if he does, which I feel like is going to cost me a lot of money and take me a lot of time to get there, but I'm slowly going to commit, potentially, to this series. I've read one book. That's how much I enjoyed it, that it's kind of got me to thinking that I want to read all, however many there are. How many are there? There's probably good information to know. How many volumes are in One Piece? Oh my god, there's 104 volumes spanning over 1,000 chapters. 104 volumes. So hang on, if they're like, how much was this one? So hang on, this one was £7.99. So if they're all £7.99, it would cost you £830 and 96p to buy every volume. I'm sure there are bind-ups and I know I can get them secondhand and I'm not going to get them all at once. But this is going to be something I think I work slowly towards over probably quite a few years. If you would like to see more vlogs for this, please let me know if you've enjoyed this one. I know I'm not wrapping up the vlog, but like, just let me know what you would like to see, basically. Also, I have a quick question I'm really hoping you can help me with. I have been pronouncing manga as manga for most of my life. I then recently saw that it was meant to be manga, and I've googled it whilst filming this video, and now I'm finding both answers, so manga and manga. How do you say it? Because naturally in my brain I'm thinking manga and I'm trying to make myself say manga because I thought that was correct, but now I'm not really sure. So can you let me know in the comments, I guess, like, type it out phonetically how you say it? Is it manga like mango or manga like not mango? Please let me know because I want to say it correctly and my brain wants to say manga. So is manga right? Is manga right? Help. I went onto quite a few different websites and they all said different things. They all contradicted each other, so I'm none the wiser. So if you know, please let me know. Or if it's just one of those words that people do say differently, then maybe I'll just go back to saying manga. I don't know. Help. Something else I've got really excited about this week, alongside the manga that I'm really enjoying, is my Twitch. So I run a Twitch account. I don't really talk about it very often, so you may not know it's even a thing that exists, but it is. It's linked down below. It's just Books Nest over there. And I stream things like Disney Dreamlight, I stream Pokemon and Animal Crossing sometimes, Zelda, but I have kind of lost the love for it recently. I've had so much going on, I've been so busy that I have been streaming weekly still where I can, but I feel like I'm just not as enthused about it as I was when I started it. And when I started it, I was so excited, and I was streaming like every few days, and I was getting lots of engagement and interaction in the comments and the chats, and it was really nice, and I felt like there was a real community building there. And I think I've dropped off with it a little bit. My enjoyment has changed for it. I'm not playing as many different games anymore. I'm just kind of playing the same game, which kind of makes me feel a bit bored over time. But at the same time, I don't know what else to play, whereas now I'm kind of giving it a bit of a rejig. I'm going to be playing some different types of games. The kind of things I want to start playing is God of War Ragnarok. I want to play The Last of Us because I've seen so much hype about that at the moment. I would love to play Little Nightmares, and I also have the idea of streaming Slender Man, which I might regret. I used to play that at sixth form when I was doing my A-levels, not literally whilst I was sat doing my A-levels, but like when we were sat in between lessons, we would sometimes play Slender Man and turn all the lights off in the sixth form common room, and it was a terrifying experience, even though you were sat around loads of other people, so that was fun. So I thought that could be fun to stream. But generally, I am determined to get more into streaming again. I really enjoyed it when I started it. I think I've just dropped out of it a little bit, so I'm working my arse off to try and get a bit more motivation back for that, and the motivation is here. I'm really looking forward to doing it. So just to let you know that that is something that I do. I really love doing my weekly live shows with my patrons and having sprints and having like live chats with my patrons, and I love that interaction. So I'm looking forward to trying to integrate that into my Twitch as well, in the sense of having that live interaction and being able to chat whilst I play games. So that is all linked down below if you do want to check it out, but I just wanted to mention it because I'm feeling like I'm getting really excited to get going with it. So once I get back from staying at my family, I am gonna change my setup around a little bit and just hopefully just throw myself back into it. So that's everything for now. I will let you know my thoughts on Spy Family when I finish it. I really hope you're enjoying this vlog so far. Please do click the thumbs up button if you are, and if you do want to see more of me reading more manga, please let me know in the comments what you would like to see me reading, if there's other ones that you think I would enjoy based on what you see me read generally in my videos, but also subscribe and hit the little bell icon to be notified when I do post more videos. Sounds like I'm wrapping up the vlog. I'm not, but I'm gonna crack on with my day now, and I will let you know when I finish Spy Family. Look what arrived! I'm kind of obsessed with this colour scheme, but I'm so excited to carry on with this series. I do still need to finish and update you on Spy Family, but I'm so excited these are here. I think I've been converted to being a manga lover because I really enjoyed this. This is the last book of this TBR for this video, and I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. So basically all 3 books I read this week have been 4 stars or above. This was just fantastic. I absolutely loved the 3 main characters. I think they were brilliant to follow. They each brought something different into the table, and I love the way they knitted together as this little makeshift family that does really become a family. I really want volume 2 for this to see how their path progresses. So yes, I will be adding volume 2 to my wish list. I need more from these characters. I especially loved Anya, who was the little girl in this. She was so sweet. She just wants to make people happy. She wants to do right by her new dad, and oh, it's just so cute. She physically, as an animated character, she's just so beanie. Have I shown you what she looks like? She is literally the biggest bean. She is so cute. So just generally, I think this might have been my favourite of the week. I obviously loved One Piece, and I did enjoy Blood on the Tracks as well. I gave One Piece 4.5 stars and Blood on the Tracks 4 stars, but I think this one might be my favourite. It gave me more emotional reactions than I expected to have, I would say. So yes, I am going to be continuing on with each 3 of the series that I have discovered over the course of this last week. I definitely value and trust Gavin's recommendations because these are all fantastic. My friend Lauren from Fiction Tea has also been recommending me many mangas, so I'm going to be giving some of those a go as well, and I know that she loves the anime for Spy Family, so I'm quite excited to check that out. But just generally, I feel like this week has really opened my eyes to reading manga and discovering that I really enjoy this format of books. So I'm very much looking forward to diving more into this and carrying on with these series and discovering some new series. It's just great fun. I was reading the end of this with a constant smile on my face, and I love that books can have the ability to do that. Any book, but like this was just, it was great. It was a great journey. I've kind of slipped back into saying manga rather than manga in the later part of this video, but please let me know, as I said, if there is a right or wrong with the pronunciation, because I definitely feel like for me it's more natural to say manga, but I don't want to be getting it wrong, and as I said, I have looked it up, but there are many different contradictory websites. So for now, I'll keep saying manga. I don't know, I was editing and manga, I knew I was forcing the manga thing, so I please let me know, as I've said. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new to my channel and have come because of this, because I know this is a slightly different avenue of video for me, then hello, hi. I will be doing more videos like this going forward. I would like to continue reading manga in videos and potentially doing some series vlogs for maybe like One Piece and Spy Family again in the future, so let me know if that's something you would like to see. But hello, thank you so much for coming along to this video, everybody that has watched this and stayed till the end, thank you so much. Please leave a like, it really does help me out. Comment down below if you read manga, what manga you enjoy, and if you've got any recommendations for me. You can subscribe to see more of my face on your feed, and linked down below you can also find my Patreon where I do lots of extra content, and my online shop is also linked down below. Thank you so much for watching, keep smiling and stay positive.